This is a weird way to start the video, but I feel that I should mention it. Um, Sorry for the lack of videos. I've been trying to post a video, but the subject is a very difficult subject for me to talk about, so I feel that talking about that subject just isn't a smart idea, so I won't. But I will try to be posting a video once a week at least from now on, and I will also be mentioning the fact that I will be trying to put in more effort into the video, such as research on the topics that I want to talk about instead of making it where it's just me ranting or talking about a topic. I will have something like knowledgeable or some sort of insight on the topic. So if I do get things wrong, of course, forgive me. I might not always be right or know what I'm talking about. I will try to do at least like 4 hours of research into every video at very bare minimum. I will try to do more, but I cannot promise anything. But I will try to keep the videos at least once a week from now on instead of just whenever I feel like it. But I I am still gonna do it that way. Just I will try more into that. All right, now back to the video. I hope you enjoy. Don't hate yourselves. Love and cherish yourself the way you would another honor. And that is kind of gonna be the topic for the video today. Um, and you might be asking why or where is this coming from? And to be honest, it is coming from a place of, I guess, trying to tell myself this. And if I'm gonna tell myself this, might as well maybe remind someone else or tell someone else, you know? Because why wouldn't I? The reason for that and the reason I've been feeling this way is because if I'm being honest, not that long ago, I was, I guess, some of you would say, in a situationship. Um, do regret. I won't lie. I won't lie. I well, not regret the moments I had with the girl. Those moments were amazing, but I regret it because I could have easily gotten out of that situation, but I kept myself in there, and yeah. So because of that, at times I find myself putting a lot of self-doubt or self-hatred into myself, because I want to blame myself for her not liking me no more, her not wanting to try to be with me anymore. And in all honesty, maybe that's true, but at the same time, it can be just as false as it can be true. And I hate to admit to that because, hey man, who wants to admit to that? Like, why admit that it might be true or it might not be when you can just go on with your day being like, hey, it's my fault, or hey, it's their fault that they don't like me anymore. It can be either or. Alright, but I'm not here to talk about the past and dwell on it. Well, maybe dwell a little bit, but I'm not here to just blame her or be mad at her and talk about how I might or might not miss her and so on. I'm here to remind myself that there's no reason for me to be mad at myself or put self-doubt or self-hatred onto myself. Because at the end of the day, what she chose is what she chose. And I say that because I know what I just said. I'm not going to try to talk about her all too much, but at the same time, she is the reason I am making this video, you know? So it is very difficult. But what I can say, without, I guess, mentioning it, is, I guess, get back on topic really. And the way I'm gonna do that is by talking about the fact that I have been having a lot of self-doubt and self-hate because of that reason. And with that fact, I've also been having to come to terms with a lot and also get back to realizing that, hey, like, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, none of it is your. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But at the end of the day, if it was a mistake. As long as it's not like life-threatening or gonna murder someone, don't like despise your own self because of a mistake or a choice or so on. There's no reason for any of that, honestly. That's kind of silly, in all honesty. Um, and if there's anything in this video that I want to get across, it is that you are. This sounds, I guess, a little messed up to say, but in all reality, like speaking on a universally wide thing, it is like, in all honesty, we're all here, alive, and it was by a beautiful mistake that we're all alive. By the way, this game, I guess, is perfect for timing myself because, as you can see, there's a timer on top. But we're all here by in all honesty, a beautiful mistake. It's not like that's ever gonna change. You're alive now and here right now. Wait, this is kind of a blessing. Wait, you guys don't understand. This is like one of the best jobs I possibly could have asked for, like, actually. Alright, back to topic though, sorry for getting sidetracked. We're all here by a beautiful mistake, whether you want to admit to that or not. And because of that fact, you should also be willing and able to accept that, hey, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, you're gonna make mistakes along the way. You're just gonna do everything a normal person does, even if you have a, I guess, like, birth defect or so on. It's just, you're gonna make a mistake. You're not gonna be perfect. No one is. And if you are, props to you. Like, you don't need my advice, but no, in all seriousness, we're all here for the same ride. And I guess the easiest way to put it is, I guess, of course, as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that I'm bound to make mistakes at some point, of course, and I'm never going to be perfect. I'm never gonna be a person who never made a single mistake. I will never be someone who wasn't, like, doesn't live his life by, honestly, chance. And I don't mean that in the way that my entire life is based around chance, or my entire life is based around that. No, if I'm being honest, I try to live my life as smart as I possibly can. I try to leave it as little to chance as I can, in all honesty. And because of that, and because of how I try to live my life, that does at the end of the day affect how I do act. But yeah, because we are all here by chance, I feel that hating yourself is such a dumb and stupid thing that, like, why? You know? Just why? Why would you hate yourself? Why would you... You're gonna be stuck with yourself for the rest of your life, whether you want to be or not. You will be. And there's nothing you can do to change that. For obvious reasons. And I don't mean that in a way, oh, like, you will be the exact same person or you'll never change. I don't mean it like that. I mean that in the way of that no matter how hard you try to change, you will be in the same body. And because of that, you should come to terms with loving yourself and accepting who you are, embracing who you are, and not let anyone change that and not bring self-doubt to yourself. And that doesn't mean to not listen to criticism, because sometimes criticism is needed, but knowing the difference between criticism and hate is a very big thing. But another thing is one of your biggest critics will always be yourself, and that's how it should be. But just because you're criticizing yourself doesn't mean you have to hate yourself. It doesn't mean you have to be, I guess, a negative Nancy to yourself, or Nelly. I don't know exactly. If I said that wrong, excuse me. But there's no reason for you to hate yourself. No reason for you to completely doubt your own ability or say only negatives to yourself. It shouldn't be like that, in all honesty, because that's... Why would you be like that? Like, just... I guess it's a lot easier to say. It's a lot easier said than done, but love yourself. Just love yourself. It might take time to be able to. It might take a lot of effort. Low-key, I'm still working on it myself, so if you're looking for advice on how to love yourself, I'm not the man for the job. I am working on it myself. But what I can say confidently is I do try to love myself. I do try. I am so dumb. All right. Oh man. Yeah, it's like I said, a lot easier said than done. It's gonna be difficult at times. It's not always gonna be the easiest and simplest of things to do, but you should still try to. Oh my god, there's so much loot right here on this side. Should still always try to, because why wouldn't you, man? Like, in all honesty, why wouldn't you? And that, I feel like that sounds a bit messed up. I don't mean for it to be. I mean it in the way of, I don't know how it sounds messed up, but in my head it does. Oh my god, I'm getting juked. But what I mean by that is, why wouldn't you love yourself? You're gonna be sick with yourself, you know? Maybe one day there'll be someone who you will find more special to yourself than you, that you will care for more than you do yourself. And when that happens, honestly, I'm happy for you, because I mean, clearly you care for someone. I'm getting nothing but healing items, and I'm do not mind with the thing that I got, by the way, like at all. Okay, so that was useless to just pick in. But yeah, just like I said, a lot easier said than done. Get me away from here. Why am I still here? That is awful. What is even going on here, man? What is going on here? Hey, yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those topics or one of those subjects that I suck talking about because, like I said, I'm working on it myself. It's very much so work in progress type of thing. Yeah, but because of the fact that it's a work in progress, I feel that I should be talking about it because it shouldn't be just a work in progress for me. Because I've come to realize that it's not just me who hates themselves, but there are so many people out there that just hate themselves because I guess you being you, you will always see all your little mistakes. You will always, not little mistakes, big mistakes, you will always see your own mistakes. And because of that, you are your harshest critic. There's no one else that will know as much about you as you do yourself. And because of that fact, you should also love yourself. Not just judge yourself because you know of all the negatives about yourself or you know about all the things that are awful about you. You should embrace the flaws that you have. You should embrace all the negatives. You should embrace it. And maybe all the things that you think are issues or problems, the next person you love or care for, or your kids, or someone that you know maybe loves you for it or cares for you because of that. So because of that, I feel that you should be nicer to yourself and more careful towards yourself and just not as much of a hateful or spiteful person because of your flaws. And you should also just, that, by the way, that does not mean only like think of all your flaws or all your mistakes or like just okay. That doesn't mean that because like what's an example? You can like be anti-Semitic and hey, maybe you might find your partner through that, but that is not okay. All right, that is not okay in any way, shape, or form. Like you shouldn't hate others because if you yourself are flawed, all right, why would you hate someone else? All right, for something you might think is a flaw or so or such. Like if you yourself are flawed, who are you to judge? You are not entitled or you do not have the right to judge another person because of something maybe you think is a flaw. Because think of all the flaws you have. All right? So just try to remember that the next time you are having an issue with yourself or you are not in the best of moods or you don't want to talk to anyone, just remember that it's okay to not talk to anyone, but hating yourself is one of the worst things you can possibly do. There's no reason you should hate yourself because you will be with yourself your entire life and there's no way to change that. Embrace all your flaws, embrace all your quirks, embrace everything about yourself because the only way you will be able to move past them and be okay with yourself is by embracing all the negatives that you have and coming to terms with them. And I wish I had a quote that I can put up. This is why I need to do more research on these topics that I want to talk about. So I'm not just, I guess, uncultured or I guess not knowing. I want to know more and I want to be able to tell more. to maybe help someone else. Maybe it might not help me, but it helps someone else. These are just topics that I find interesting, but yeah, don't hate yourself for a flaw or an issue you have of yourself. Alright, if you've made a mistake or if you've said something in the past, it's already in the past. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's all I can say. It's already in the past and there's no way of changing the past. But if you honestly regret it or hate it that much, all I can tell you is to come to terms with it and be willing and wanting to change, because it's about all you can do. All honesty, there's no way of changing that fact. That will always be like that. There is sadly nothing you can do about that. Like, all you can do is just accept it and love yourself for the mistakes you make or will make in your life. Because, yeah, hating yourself is the worst thing you can do. Why put yourself down when you can love yourself and be happy? Which is, I guess, where this video comes to an end, because, yeah. And this doesn't mean be neglectful, by the way. Like, I want to put that out there. That doesn't mean be neglectful of others for your own sake. No, because, yeah, man, think of others too. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. There are some very not thoughtful people out there. That's all. There's two healers here. What the heck? Oh man, I'm getting jumped. Oh, I might die. I'm out of here. All right. So before I die and want to shoot myself, I will say that oh my god. Alright, there we go. I killed one of the healers. That makes my life easier. Like, actually. Did these guys just duplicate? Yo! I might have an issue here. Because these guys right here don't want to die. They get healed. They get healed every 2 seconds. This is awful. Die. Die. You here, you little cheeky man, you little cheeky man. All right, there. I think they both the healers should be dead. All right, there we go. This is manageable now. All right, thank the Lord. But yeah, don't hate yourself. Learn to love yourself, and in all honesty, I don't know how to end this video because I want to keep yapping, but I don't know what to yap about. So we will end the session off today with, and I will try to end the rest of the videos off with, stay happy and keep a smile on your face. All right. Goodbye.